few more seconds.
Suggest having instrumental music.
That background. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we got here early today. Not a bad idea. Like Starbucks music, Starbucks classical music.
A little bit of jazz.
Yeah. All right, 5 o'clock. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for being here today to our school board meeting. Opening items, call to order.
Good evening. Board of Trustees present tonight are Trustee Contreras, Trustee Arellano, Trustee Castillo, Trustee Calderon, and Trustee Aviña. You have a quorum.
All right, thank you. One of my ex-students, Mr. Eric, is going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Over your heart. Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, Eric. B, presentations. Item 1, raise to submit recognition from Imperial County Office of Education. We have Denise.
Good evening. My name is Denise Cabanilla. I am the Senior Director of Higher Education and Adult Learning at the Imperial County Office of Education. I'm here with HEAL Coordinator Esther Rodriguez tonight to bestow a recognition for the hard work of the staff at Calexico High School and the Calexico Unified School District with regards to FAFSA completion, and Esther will share a little more about that.
So the FAFSA application and the California Dream Act application opens up on October 1st, and students are working very diligently to get their applications in. And the priority deadline is March 2nd. So we have recognized schools, we call it the first round of winners, because they submitted the highest amount of FAFSA or California Dream Act applications by March 2nd. And Calexico High School was one of those top schools. So we want to congratulate them. This was a lot of work that was done by the school counselors, by the students, by the parents, workshops, and it's not just about filling out a financial aid application, but this is going to give them a means and ability to not just, attend college, but be able to pay for college and graduate, without debt, whether they decide to go to a four-year university or start off at the community college and then transfer or do an associate's degree. Wherever their path takes them, this effort is going to help them pay for that. So cost doesn't come out of pockets for families, and that's going to be a huge motivator and a huge social economic mobility for our students. So we're really, really, really excited and proud to just award this banner to Calexico High School.
So at this moment, we'd like to present the Calexico Unified School District Board with your CIF style banner to hang in your front office, your counseling center, wherever you choose to display this. It is a very competitive race amongst all high schools here in Imperial County. To show you, we had a tie for first place, so we have another presentation going on at Imperial Unified tonight. And we have a large school relay, so Calexico and Imperial won the large school, and Hopeville Unified won our small school. But the school right behind was only 1 percentage point behind. And so all this to say, this is great news for the students and families in Imperial County, because we're being intentional to ensure that all students have access and support to fill out their financial aid application, because that is one of the most essential components that determines a student's ability to go attend college, to do well in college without having to think about the financial stress that may come along with that. The financial aid federal application also allows them access to institutional scholarships at the colleges they're attending. So it's just a beautiful thing, and we just want to celebrate the great work and the commitment of our districts to ensure that our students have access. Along with our partners, we do this during the school day. And so that's the best place to have access to our students and families. So we want to thank you for that trust, and know that we will continue to strive to ensure that 100% of our students fill out an application, FAFSA or CADA DREAM Act application, to ensure that they have the resources they need to be successful and at the post-secondary level. So without further ado, Calexico Unified, congratulations on your being one of the Race to Submit winners for the first relay, March 2nd. So this is our goal, that students apply for March 2nd, because they will be eligible for California aid as well as federal aid. So this is the big one, and you did it. Congratulations.
Well, thank you so much. So at this point, we'd like to take a picture with our partners from ICOE. So if we could stand up here in front of the dais and ask Mr. John Moreno as well to join us for this picture.
You guys should hold this, and we'll be on the ends. There you go. Yes. Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you. If I could just say one thing. Mr. President, if I may say one thing, I'd also like to include Ms. Gabby Williams for her tutelage in this effort. She was instrumental in having us get this. Her and her partners, which is our College Access Center, did an outstanding job coordinating events in our gym, starting in October, November, and even with the applications to UC and CSUs. So a big round of applause to Ms. Gabby Williams. She's not here, but she is the brain trust behind this. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Moreno, and please thank the entire staff that helped out. I know there's many of you, many that helped out make this possible. So once again, thank you to all the staff at the Calexico High School, Ms. Williams and Mr. Moreno, and ICOE for assisting. Thank you so much.
I just have a brief comment. I want to thank Ms. Denise Cabanilla, your entire team, for being an instrumental partner for the school district and bringing all the resources to our students and the families. And this is a major accomplishment because we also have parents who have trouble with technology devices, and completing a FAFSA application is not easy. I heard it's gotten a little bit better, but it's still a project. It's a task, and to have accomplished this is something we should really be proud of. So thank you, Ms. Cabanilla, to you and your team for taking the time to come out here and celebrate with us. Thank you so much.
Okay, moving on to item 2, College and Career Access Pathways, a dual enrollment partnership presentation.
Thank you, Mr. President Avina. So we do have Mr. Victor Torres from IVC, who's going to provide us a presentation on our dual enrollment program.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. Thank you, the board, for having me here. It's been a while, right? It's been a couple years since I did this presentation, but my job is to ensure that CCAP agreements get established with the county. My name is Victor Torres. I'm the Associate Dean of Workforce Development and Non-Traditional Instruction for Imperial Valley College. I titled this presentation, Our Time Is Now, because it's critical. Some of the work that's going on with dual enrollment and early college credit by exam. I think we want to go from a transactional or from an acceleration program to a transformation program. And one of the key things that we have at IVC is about contributing to solving the poverty levels in the county. And we know that education is one of those avenues that can help us meet that threshold. So is this the clicker here?
Yes.
All right. So I wanted to start off with how we got to CCAP agreements and our legislation. In 2017, Assembly Bill 288 passed, which kind of established the mechanisms for community college districts and high school districts to to be partners in this initiative, right? I'll talk about definitions and what early college credit means, dual enrollment versus concurrent enrollment. You guys have some early college credit opportunities at the high school, like AP. There might be IB opportunities. I don't think you guys have any, but AP would be one of those. So, but this particular bill established for us to be able to close classes at the community college and offer them at your site, but only to your students. Before, we had what we would call non-CCAP or concurrent enrollment, and but students from what we call native students from the college could join those classes, and they weren't closed to just specific high school students. There was also an element too of expense, right? With concurrent enrollment, high school students needed to pay for some fees and textbooks. With AB 288, it eliminated and it gave that access, so high school students don't have to pay any fees or textbooks for that matter. So then as the years progressed, there was other Senate bills, 554, which allows adult ed programs to join the CCAP ranks. There's AB 102, which expanded. It also eliminated the sunset for AB 288. So that had a sunset, I believe it was 2024, and it's removed, so now we can continue to operate as of right now permanently. Senate Bill 1244 really talks about having more access to the high schools to establish partnerships or amend CCAP agreements. I'll talk a little bit about that in the later slides. We now have a certain window of time where we can establish CCAP agreements. If we don't, then you have the option to seek other agreements with other community colleges, if you will. Before, it used to be sort of a gentleman's agreement that you didn't go into another person's backyard and start offering service. Now you can with the right approach, right? So that law kind of protects that. And then I put on their upcoming legislation, 1878. It's not approved, but it removes the requirement of no more than 4 classes. If you understand credits, at the college level, you usually get 3 units, right? 3 credits. So let's say a full-time student would be 15 or above. So that's 5 classes of 3 units each. Before, you can do 15 credits, but only 4 classes. So technically, this is a math problem, only 12, right? So only 12. Now you can technically do the 5 courses, 15 units. Now, a lot of people see that and say, well, how can a high school student accomplish 15 units while still going to high school, right? That's pretty out there, if you will. But not really. There's different programs in dual credit or dual enrollment, like middle college, where you have a high school inside the community college. So they're doing half a day high school classes, half a day college classes. So they're able to take more bandwidth, if you will. And then they have early college credit. So early college credit is kind of the model that we have, where we come to you all, or you take classes online, and they can do a certain amount of credits. We've been strategic, though, in the number of credits that students take because of bandwidth, right? We don't want them to fail because there are some repercussions to failing college classes. So that's basically the legislation. The Community College Chancellor's Office came up with the Vision 2030. It's about to get revamped like a Vision 2035, and then it's going to go to 2040, but it always changes, right? What they wanted to do is they wanted to ensure that dual enrollment opportunities are about equity, they're accessible, equity and access, success, and support. And you can read, I'm not going to go verbatim on the slide, but really what it talks about is that we need to first establish access for students, build pathways that they can have an early start, because the research is very clear. The more credits they have earlier, the better they will be successful later on. And in fact, I read somewhere, one student who has 3 or more credits before they graduate from high school, it's about 60 to 70% higher likeliness of them going to college and transitioning. Now, if you do more math, right, if you add more credits, it's higher and higher, but then the completion rates start increasing a little bit more. I could tell you anecdotally, we have students who take enough credits at the high school, transfer to IVC, and by the fall of their technically freshman year of college, they're applying to UCs and CSUs. By the spring, they get an admission letter, and that summer they leave. So we're seeing that anecdotally come in, and we're seeing students trickle in. So, all right.
hopefully your next meeting will have a CCAP agreement in place for the 2026-2027 year, but I wanted to spend a few minutes of what it is that it means to have a CCAP agreement. Even though we've had one for the last, I think you guys were one of the first schools in 2017 or 2019, if I'm correct, to join the CCAP agreement with IVC. The purpose is really to expand, I mentioned, to expand access. AB 288 was established, but to do more than access, it was really to ensure that underrepresented populations had access to dual enrollment. Because if you look, dual enrollment has been around probably since the 60s, right? But they were mostly mechanisms for the overachievers, the high flyers, as I call them, right? Or even, you know, the demographics, you know, whites or Asians were taking these classes more and more. AB 288 established this so that first generation students, underrepresented, low income, low socioeconomic, can have more access to these classes, right? Reduce those barriers, ensure they're earning college credit, and then making a seamless transition to K-12, because that's, sometimes there's an issue there with transition. The goals, obviously, I'm not gonna mention them verbatim, but it's pretty clear. Establish early, assist graduation rates, reduce, as our partner said, financial aid need, right? So the more credits you earn, the less financial aid you may have. So that also can be burdensome for students, right? Academic goals, time and cost to degree. I did the math one time, and it was probably 3 years ago. We had saved the county already $1.2 million just in tuition alone, not excluding textbooks, not excluding supplies, right? I think it's safe to say now we're probably in the $5 to $7 million that we've saved the actual student that kind of money. And then the process, right? So we are to build a partnership. It should be alignment. It should be identifiable. There should be pathways. Everybody should be aware of what the roles are, what our commitment is, et cetera, right? So it's been very successful over the last 6 or 7 years in the county, and we want to continue doing that. So these are just, I'm not going to go verbatim, all the high schools that we have. Our 2023 to 2026 CCAP agreements, they sunset June 30th. That's why we're coming to the board the next go-around. Originally, we thought we would do a 3-year CCAP, but we're going into a transition right now where we're actually looking into implement other types of programs. So we want to make sure that that language is first cleared out, not only on your side, but also on our side, and then we can establish some more robust CCAP agreements. Just a quick snap of the numbers for the county. These are countywide. If you all recall, when was COVID? 2019, 2020? You can see we were on a little, like a small upward trajectory, right? Then COVID hit, and something happened to us during COVID in the dual enrollment space. And we turned one thing on, and it helped us tremendously. We went from paper to online applications. And you have no idea what that did for us, but it just, our numbers doubled in 1 year. And then we started looking at, okay, what's our online options and things like that? How are we doing to recruit students? And as you can see, the trajectory has been upward since then. We're in a trajectory right now to hit 3,000 students with our summer program, right? And that'll be the most we've done per year, so which is pretty cool. And do the math. So 3 times 3 is 9, about, say, 9,000 units that we save now. Do the math times $42. You can do the math. I'm not a mathematician, but it adds up, right? It adds up in time saved and in money saved as well. Okay, this is my favorite slide, and I'm gonna step off the podium a little bit because I wanna explain it. Because a lot of the times says, does dual enrollment work, right? Back when I was with Mesa, they used to say, does Mesa work? And Mesa used to have a saying that said, Mesa works. That was their tagline. But I can tell you, I'm gonna explain a little bit why I think it does work. The one I want you to focus on is this right here. So we have a 2 and 4 year college going rate. So that means that for every student, every 100 students, there's about 88 going to 2-year or a 4-year college going rate. Does anybody know what our college going rate in the county is? I know you know, but so I'm gonna have you answer that. About how many students go to IVC? Well, go to college in general as a whole?
Over 75%.
I think it's a little bit lower. It ranges between 60 and 72%, right? Around there, right? It depends by cohort, by year, by graduation, the number of students, et cetera. But if you look at our numbers, between 99% of those students, our lowest has been 88% of those students. And then a lot of them, we love it because they're coming to IVC, but we know that IVC, we're the only game show in town here. So they're coming to us, but they're coming to us with more credits. They're coming to us better prepared, and they're coming to us and graduating faster, which is key. And then this is the last column is they go through a 4-year college. So a lot of people from the community college used to question, why are you giving students an opportunity to do early college credit, but they don't come to IVC? And I think our president was wise to say, when those students leave their high school, they're going to have IVC in their DNA already. And we capture some of their their trajectory. And I think that's pretty cool that they get to take that back. Some of them come back and they already have courses at IVC. So whether they're in a native pattern or an associate's degree or a transferable degree, then they're already in the race, if you will, okay? And then I wanted to compare that to our regular students. I'm not gonna go over all of them, but for instance, 75% have enrolled. That's our long-term average, right? 93% have gone to 2 or 4 years, and then 20% average have gone to a 4-year university. I'm going to talk very briefly because I know the presentation is about CCAPs and dual enrollment, but the other way of getting credits for a community college or for IVC is credit by exam. And we're on an upward trajectory with Calexico because we just started testing back again for credit by exam. Thank you for some of that work. I also want to mention Mrs. Williams and Mr. Moreno for their support. They've been crucial to that transition, really, because we were on a hiatus for a few years. We did not have any credit by exam or articulation agreements, but we do now. They're testing. In fact, they're testing these next 3 weeks, and so we'll see those results, right? But you can see the numbers again. I may sound like I'm bragging, but I took over in 2019, 2020, and we went just through the roof with that because COVID kind of gave us a little bit of a bump in credit by exam, and we were virtually non-existent because of COVID. But we've been able to bounce back, and those numbers are growing. This is just another way of looking at the number of courses that we articulate, the number of articulation agreements, and then the number of high schools that we work with. This is the county data as a whole. It's kind of a robust slide here, but what matters to me is we've been able to enroll or have 12,415 enrollments. Again, if you do the math, if you add the time that they've been able to save, it's kind of a good, a cool number for us because we've been able to help many, many students. And you can see your numbers over there. Calexico, I think the total enrollment 1986 since we started. A little bit on the demographics. I think this is where we have room for growth because, as I mentioned, AB 288 was supposed to be about helping students that are non-traditional college-going students. As you can see on the male and female, females are really doing phenomenal there. I think we got some room to grow with males. It's typical to our county, but it's typical to the nation as well. In the nation, students who are participating in early college credit, they tend to be somewhere between 55 to 45 range, but here it's about 70 to 35, 65, 35. So, of course, our demographics are pretty identical to the county, so there's nothing going on there. But if you can see, this is self-reported first generation versus non-first gen, right? Self-reported meaning the student actually reports that when they apply, so we have no way of verifying that information. But they're saying, most of them, that they're non-first gen, that their parents probably or family has gone to college. It far outweighs the first generation of students. And again, we have to do something about it because the real principle of early college credit, or 288, was to make sure that we expand that access to those students that would normally not be in that space. This is just some Calexico data, and I apologize, you could probably see it over there in the front, but Just the success rates, there's only two populations that actually, there's only one population that does better than dual enrollment students at Imperial Valley College. Anybody want to guess who that is? You've already heard this presentation, so you know.
I probably know.
Huh?
Is it the inmate population?
Inmate population. The prison program, they're the only demographic of students that does better than dual enrollment. Why? Exactly. They have time. They have all the time in the world to do it. I think if you look at the type of demographics of students that we have, right? Prison students, high school students, and what we would call native students. Now, I can't take anything away from native students because they might have to work, they might have families, they might have single parents, etc. But our high school students are doing high school work and college work and still having these kinds of success rates, which is really, really cool, right? Our average success rate at IVC is only in the 70 percentile. You can see up to the 90, 93, 80s, kind of average, right? Our retention, you can see that they stay. Retention is measured. We have a class that starts, say, 16 weeks. By the second week, the student will it's called census. They will leave, either drop the class or stay in the class. If they stay in the class, they're going to earn a grade. And if they finish it all the way, whether they end the grade or not, whether it's an F or D, C, B, A, that means they were retained. They stayed during the duration. And then our enrollment counts. You saw this number earlier, 1753. That's how many enrollments we've had. Our head counts, we've helped over 1,300 Calexico students. So we're very proud of that. And just another little profile on your students. This is the GPA, about between 2.0 and 2.5. I will say, I'm not going to go over all the numbers, but the best performing GPA that we know for dual enrollment is this. It's between 3.1 and 3.5. And I'm not talking about the number of enrollments. I'm talking like they do better in terms of grades. And I think I know why. This is my hypothesis, if you will. Most of the students 3.5 or above are what I would call your high flyers, right? No matter what you throw at them, they're going to be able to hit that, right? Oh, excuse me. They're going to be able to, and I just went the opposite. Somebody needs to help me with that. The reason why is because those 3.0 to 3.5 students, they may not be in all of your APs that you can offer. They may not be in ASB or extracurricular activities. They may be that type of student that may not have anything going on, and they sign up and they do really, really well in dual enrollment. So we've been able to notice that kind of pattern there. Not to say that the other ones don't perform. They do. They perform well in the 88 percentile. Okay, now I can go to the next one. Sorry, I'm not literate on operating this equipment here, but it takes a village. There you go. The next one, the summer data one. Right there. So we are in the midst of summer applications. I'm happy to say we have almost 1,200 students, not from Calexico alone, but countywide. We closed May 20th. Most of our classes are full. We may add 1 or 2 more classes to accommodate some wait lists, but we're pretty full already, and this will be the biggest summer program we have since we started. There's an Instagram page. We're excited about Calexico. I wanted to introduce my team. We have an awesome team. I can tell you at IVC, we are the best customer service team. And you can ask your students, they'll attest. And then the last one is, it does take a village. We are just trying to serve your students as best as possible. We look forward to a very successful partnership for years to come. Thank you. Any questions?
Well, thank you, Mr. Torres. Great presentation. I knew about CCAP, but now I know a lot more. Thank you. A lot of information, and appreciate it. And I also appreciate the question that you made. Does it work? Because it all sounds great, but no, does it work? And you showed us that, it looks like obviously it does work. So I appreciate that question. Does it work? And that's it. No, thank you so much. And also, you said that you guys provide the best customer service. I would like to say that we collectively provide the best customer service. I'm just saying.
All right.
But
We at the K-12, they at the post.
There you
high
go.
school.
okay, we'll
Yeah,
put
yeah,
it that
yeah.
way. We'll put it that
It's a
way.
partnership.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do have a bone to pick with Mrs. Williams. She didn't give me the memo of the garnet ties, and I'm a little. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Board, any comments?
No, just thank you for your presentation. I think it kind of tells us it builds the picture of the things. Sometimes we take actions here on the board, but we don't know the results. And it's really important for somebody outside the board to come in and tell us what's going on with that information. I think that's well presented here today. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
I just want to applaud you for the hard work. I think, like you mentioned, it's a team effort, but IVC and you are doing an excellent job.
Thank you.
Something you didn't mention was how much us as parents were saving. I mean, it's for most of us have kids in school, and it's cost savings for us. So take advantage.
Tell me, I took advantage of it. I have 4 kids, and my oldest one has already taken 15 credits. My youngest one's a freshman, is about to embark on she's finishing her spring semester and then is going to take a summer class. So it's going to save me tons of money and times. Thank you.
I'll just add, of course, colleagues, again, I think these programs are incredible opportunities for students in Collect School across the county. Just the opportunities it provides, the doors it opens. We know that these kids, you mentioned overachievers, high flyers, but they're students still. They're still kids.
Mm-hmm.
And these opportunities give them a chance to be successful, with their academics, post-secondary academics and opportunities. So very much appreciated. I know we've all benefited as a community with these students being successful and hopefully coming back to fill our seats and our roles and build our community here.
I'm excited for the future. I think there's a lot other even more robust initiatives that we can take part of where, your faculty may be involved, the counseling staff, more engagement. The potential for dual credit is huge, right? And I'll be honest with you, I said this last time I was here, I was trying to refrain myself, but there are other counties and other community colleges and high school districts that have figured that out, sort of like that really great relationship where they get dual credit and, folks can work from either side of the aisle. And we need to be there because this is the equity part. If you take a kid right now from Kern County or Bakersfield County who's graduated with an associate's degree and they apply to UCLA, who do you think they're going to take? Our kid or their kid? Pretty simple. And we need to provide those opportunities for our kiddos. So I'm looking forward to it. Whatever you guys need, you have my on speed dial if you want
Absolutely.
to, but please feel free to reach out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Torres. All right, okay, moving on to C, comments from the public. The board will take any and all comments from the public related to an item on the agenda or any other item of district business that is not on the agenda. We have Eric Peraza. Please come to the podium.
Already on, right?
I'll take that back.
Good evening, board. My name is Eric Peraza. I am a school support technician at Calexico High School, and I am an assistant coach for the Calexico High School esports team. Last time I was here, our team was getting the recognition from the school board, from you guys, for being the three-peat ICOE champions and for all their successes in the esports program has achieved over the past 3 years. I'm here today to ask for support to open an official coaching position for the esports program. Mr. Lara, the founder of the esports team and the head coach, he's gonna step down next year. So the esports program, at least the competitive scene, is gonna be vacant. So all those ICOE championships where we compete against other schools across California, the CIF and NASIF, that might be vacant or might not be provided for next year. So just kind of to set the scene, we have 4 teams. At least this year we had 4 teams, 3 Smash Brothers teams and 1 Marvel Rivals team. We start the matches around 4 p.m. and then we would end around, it depends, 5 p.m. Or 6 p.m. It could go up to 6:30 p.m. And then also one of the reasons why one of our students got a full ride scholarship to the university was because we came in on a Saturday morning and we kind of enrolled him into this tournament. They scouted him, and then that's how he got the scholarship to pay for college. So it's been a lot of free time that we've invested into the esports program. For the past 3 years, we have been in an interesting position where Sparks, shout out to Ms. Montaño and Mr. Huerta, that have been supporting us since then. We're in an interesting position where Sparks in our athletic department haven't been able to open an official coaching position. Like I said, for the past 3 years, we have invested our personal time working for free or just out of passion for the sport. And I would gladly take the position as a head coach and continue, running the competitive scene. However, since I'm a classified staff, I cannot really supervise students for an extended period of time. It can only be, 30 minutes, I think, at most. We have young students that are eager to continue competing in this upcoming years. Last week, I attended STEAM Night at the 9th grade campus. That's where I saw Mr. Avina, actually. And I was talking to a bunch of 8th graders that are our new prospects. They were really excited that they were going to go into high school and be freshmen because they really wanted to be in the esports program. So I hope you guys are able to give us a little guidance or maybe help us out to open in this coaching position. We don't want to squander this potential for the students. We might get future scholarships, future, tuition. So we hope we don't squander that potential. All right.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Moving on to D, consent agenda. All items appearing will be acted upon by one motion without discussion unless any item is pulled for separate consideration and action. Do we have a motion to approve consent agenda? I motion that we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second.
Okay, a second. Any questions, comments? No? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. E, information items, superintendent's report.
Thank you so much, President Avina. So today I'd like to start my superintendent's report by actually handing it over to our Calexico High School principal and our students and some of our staff. And they're not physically here today, but I'm going to bring this, I'm going to take full credit for this presentation, but they're the ones that are going to give it via a video that has been created. And we're actually creating similar videos like this with all of our schools, because as you've seen here today, with our race to submit, time for first place, with 1,700, 1,800 students taking dual enrollment classes. There's a lot of really good things happening in Calexico, and I know that sometimes, what gets a lot of attention is that one, negative case or situation or matter. And we want to address those. We don't ignore those, and we definitely want to make everything better and address any issues that may come up. But there's also a lot of really good things, and I think this next video is going to highlight and show some of that great work from Calexico High School. So if I could ask our tech guys to go ahead and get it started.
Calexico High School offers many things. It offers a family environment. We offer the opportunity to grow. We offer AP courses, which are advanced placement. We offer CTE courses, which can be career technical education in many fields.
This year they're offering us tutoring for those who may be struggling with their GPA. They offer tutoring, and they make sure they do grade checks like every week. They make sure we're on top of it, and if we need help, they'll offer that tutoring for us.
They care about the mental part too. So a lot of times I'd have my coaches check on me and my teammates, and it's just like really good. They're like on top of everything, We're good at everything. They show us, they train us, they teach us. We learn a lot. We learn a lot of discipline.
Our teachers help us with making it manageable with our sports, so if anything is needed, they will help us out. And flag football, I've been playing it for 3 years since sophomore year. Our coaching staff is also very good. They help us with everything, as well as our principal, vice principal. They help us manage it with school.
There's plenty of academic programs we offer here, especially our kids are mandated to go to tutoring a couple days a week, especially if they're falling behind. One of the things we do is provide that one-on-one support with them. We depend on parent involvement, when it comes to doing a lot of activities for our students. My hands are more in the classroom, on the field, but anytime we do things outside the classroom, parents are heavily involved, and it takes a whole community to work together.
ASP and being class president has taught me a lot of leadership skills, like being able to approach people if they need help, and just being able to work together with many different kind of people.
I think every year has been very rewarding. I've learned everything. I've learned a lot of new things each year. I think that's a very rewarding experience from sure. I don't know if you get that from other sports because I haven't been in very many others, but I personally enjoy it. I've got to meet a lot of people, and yeah, represent Calexico High School.
Well, we got a variety of programs that are beneficial to our kids. I personally like the CTE department that we have here. I think that we really push our kids to their maximum effort. I think the statistics of the product that comes out at the end of the 2 or 3 year program is self-evident. Well, we're here to make our kids successful once they leave here, whatever that pathway happens to be. Well, we offer tutoring, we offer interventions that they may need. Sometimes it's not about academics, sometimes it's about emotional and social issues that they may have, but we have the support that we need from our support staff, from our mental health specialists, but overall, by and large, it's our faculty that work extremely well, and we're proud of our faculty because they work hard and they're doing everything that the state is requiring by developing their standards and sharing their standards with our students, by assessing them and looking at the growth over time.
Here at Calexico High School, they're preparing me for example, for college, to do better at college, to be ready for whatever's coming at me. Also for personal life, like jobs and work, because we have the CTE programs, which, for example, law enforcement.
Well, we have a slogan of pride, honor, and excellence. We also have respectful, accountable, and determined. And CIF requires us that we go over the 16 pillars of what it is to be a champion. So a lot of this stuff is out there, and the students are receiving it, not only every day that they hear that the Bulldogs are rad, respectful, accountable, and determined, and it's part of our positive behavior intervention system. So we do have those values and the values that they bring with them from home. And we can expound on family values and how to treat others. So we look at that as a multifaceted approach from home to school and then beyond. We also have sports, we have ASB spirit, we have service clubs, and we have those activities and those events that the kids want to be part of. And it's all about building a positive culture from the Chocolate Mountains to the Sea of Cortez, all along the border on any day of the week. This is Calexico High School.
Bulldogs are rad, respectful, accountable, and determined.
Once a Bulldog,
always a Bulldog.
I just knew that I couldn't outdo that, and the voices of our students and the voices of some of our staff members, of course, of our fearless leader, Mr. John Moreno, who I must say, after 38 years of dedication and devotion to the Calexico Unified School District, is calling it a day. We'll be retiring this year, and we'll be celebrating him also at our retirement ceremony. But in this video, you heard words like tutoring, intervention, support, academics, growth, prepare for college, career, personal life, social, emotional support, college, positive intervention systems, home to school and beyond, building a positive culture. And I think this is just exemplifies a school and educational program and how it's supposed to work. If we look at Calexico High School as in but in all of our other schools, in their own levels and their own degrees of what they're doing as well. But focusing tonight on Calexico High School, all these extracurricular activities, all these opportunities for students to get connected and feel belonging and experience success and experience what success is like. You know, one of the things that I love about the video is how even the students talk about the tutoring and talk about the academic support that we know that we will get students who are struggling academically, or we know that most of our students are second language learners. They're learning English as a second language. They come from homes where their primary language or their only language is Spanish or another language. But we don't give up on those students, right? And we don't use that as an excuse. We don't say they can't learn or they can't be better because they're second language learners or they're immigrants or whatever they may be. We believe in them. We believe in their full potential and what they could accomplish and what they could become. And I think Calexico High School, the staff there, the teachers, the classified employees, the custodian, the secretaries, the proctors, the administrators, assistant principals, the counselors, everybody at Calexico High School really exemplifies schooling and education today. So my hat's off to Calexico High School, and I know we'll be celebrating our graduation in the very near future. I'm really looking forward to that. There will be a drone show this year. 200 drones flying in the air and doing a great a show for us. So congratulations again to Calexico High School. My next part of this, my superintendent's report, as well. We celebrate and appreciate our employees every day of the year. The month of May is highlighted in the state of California as Employee Appreciation Month. To our valued classified certificated management employees of the Calexico Unified School District, thank you for your dedication, commitment, and service to our students, schools, and community. Each day, your hard work and passion help create meaningful education opportunities that inspire learning, support student success, and open doors to bright futures. We sincerely appreciate everything you do to make a positive difference in the lives of our students and to help our schools thrive. Together, we are creating pathways to success for every student we serve. Thank you very much. And with that, President Avina concludes my superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. Thank you. And just want to say that the video was excellent. I guess we want to increase enrollment. The whole valley should be looking at these videos and, you know, good advertisement. Okay, I will say more because it's moving on to the next point is this item, Insurance Committee.
Thank you, President
Okay,
Avina. At
Mr.
this
Romel.
time, I'd like to call Mr. Romel Guerrero, our Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources and Risk Management, that will be providing a brief update on our Insurance Committee.
Good evening, President Avina, Superintendent Jimenez, Board Trustees, and members of the public. Thank you for being here tonight. We wanted to provide you guys with an Insurance Committee update. Last night, we had our Insurance Committee meeting, and a lot of really good discussions. Some of the discussions that we've been having and we had last night is we talk about the different plans to meet the needs of our diverse population, right? Our diverse employee population. We want to make sure that what we have to offer meets everybody's different needs, right? We have folks who have a need for a higher level of insurance, but we also have folks who have a need for a lesser level of insurance. So we want to make sure we have that array of opportunities or plans to offer them. Another discussion we've been having for the last 8 months is the promotion of preventive care, right? So right now, through CISC, we're able to offer a plan that's called the Preventive Care Plan. And what this plan offers, and really what the focus of this plan is to get our employees to go see their primary physician. And one way that we do that, or that the plan does that, is by providing a zero copay to see your primary physician. And in addition to that, it's zero copay to go to urgent care, right? The goal behind this is if we go see our physician, right? If we go see our primary physician, if we see our doctor regularly, we can catch any illnesses, we can catch anything ahead of time so that we can address it before it becomes bigger. And so we want to keep our employees healthy. Another thing that we're promoting, right, is the use of our value-added program. Am I able to click on the link? Can you do that? All right. So for all of our employees, CISC offers the value-added benefits, right? And it's on our website. The link is on the presentation, and Yvonne has sent out the link to this program. But we have so many value added programs, such as Centivo. Centivo is telehealth, right? And it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You can actually have your primary physician through Centivo. You can set up appointments, as many appointments as you want, no copay, right? And everything's done through your phone, you know. We have another value added is for our expecting mothers or parents, right? There is a way to receive free diapers for, I believe it's 6 months. There's a way to receive that, right? For folks who are receiving medical diagnosis, if they want a second opinion, we have a program that will provide you the opportunity to meet with a different doctor and get a second opinion on your diagnosis, right? So there's different value-added programs that we have that we want our employees to take advantage of. And the whole idea behind it is preventive care and proactive approach to healthcare. So if we can go back to the presentation. So one of the things that I wanted to mention, and I know it's a topic of discussion at every meeting, is the increases that happened this year. So every year for the last 4 years, our insurance rates have increased, right? There's many reasons behind it, and we'll look at some of those reasons here in a minute. But just to remind everyone, this year the ranges for the Imperial Valley were between 12 and 15%. That means that insurance rates across the Imperial Valley increased between 12 and 15%, depending on the district or county office or government office, right? For us, our increase was at 12.98 for our PPO and at 3.89% for SIMSA, which is an HMO. Like I said, there's many reasons behind it, but these are some of the most common reasons here. Is obviously we know there's an increase in inflation, but there's also has been an increase in utilization. Now, the whole idea behind healthcare is we want folks to utilize their healthcare, right? But with more utilization also comes more costs, right? We have 8 prescriptions that account for 7.2% of the total amount of prescriptions. So these prescriptions have gone up in usage and utilization, right? And another thing that the CIS has noticed through their analysis is there has been a decrease in primary care services. So folks are not visiting their primary care physician, and we're trying to promote that, right? That's why CIS came out with the preventive care plans, right? Because it is better and more efficient to see your primary care doctor than to wait until you have to go into the emergency room, right? And as you can see, obviously, because there's less primary care usage, there has been an increase in ER visits and urgent care. Nevertheless, another reason why our insurance rates have gone up is because there's high claims, especially in the area of cancer treatment, right? Now, the great thing about medicine and medical care in the United States is there's always new treatment options coming up, right? But those options are expensive. So, for example, there's a new treatment option that just came out a year ago. This option wasn't available. So as you can see, there was 0 scripts. In other words, there were 0 folks receiving that particular treatment. And this year, within the first quarter of this year, 27 folks in our pool, not in Calexico, but in our pool, begin to use this new treatment, which is great, right? We want to make sure that they use it. We want to have those options, but at the same time, We have to realize that those new treatments are expensive. Another example is the CGMs, right? So folks who have diabetes, they could get the continuous glucose monitor, and just because we're offering that through our programs, right, through our healthcare, you can see that this first quarter of this year, over 2,000 scripts were written just for those monitors, and they're expensive. They're $700 a script, which is great. We want folks to have that, but at the same time, we also have to realize that there's a cost to it. We know that there's been mandated benefit changes in California that have contributed to the increase in insurance, and we know that our service provider contracts have increased also. So we've had challenges last year and this year with scripts, with other different service providers, and as we continue to work with this these service providers, their cost is going up, so they're passing it along to us. So therefore, our cost has to go up. Now, there are some next steps, right? We know we're coming to the end of the year. We want to make sure that the first thing we need to do before the end of the year is we want to inform our employees of the new plans that we're going to offer for 26, 27. We're going to offer an array of plans that are affordable, but also to meet the needs of individual employees, so that folks can make a familial decision as to what plan they want to choose and select, right? Once we offer the plans, once we put out that information, we also want to educate folks, right? So we want to have different virtual meetings to provide those opportunities to learn about the differences between plans, right? Differences between plans. Every plan has an advantage, and every plan has a purpose, right? So we want to make sure that our folks know that. And then we want to inform everyone about the open enrollment window, which is going to open up in August. This year is going to be mandatory for every employee to enroll. Every employee has to go in there and confirm their healthcare changes. There will be no exceptions to that. And through the Human Resource Office, we'll be working very diligently to reach out to folks who have not made those selections. This is a legal requirement for us that we have to meet in preparation for an audit that's going to happen within the next year and a half. Thank you. That's the end of my report. Any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Romel. Great information. Just a question. These plans that you're talking about offering, besides the SIMSA, they're all PPOs, right?
Yes, sir. Including
Yeah.
the preventive care plan. It's a PPO.
Okay, which is the best compared to HMOs.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And President Avina, that's an excellent question that you bring up, because in our valley, we don't have HMO providers, right? We only have PPO. So regardless of which PPO plan you select, you will still be able to see the same doctors, regardless of the PPO plan, with the exception of SIMSA. SIMSA is an HMO plan.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And if I could add to that really quick, President Vignon, because I've come with experience in this area of personal experience in the area of healthcare. In many other places, you go to San Diego, Orange County, LA County, your choices that you have to make as an insurance person taking insurance is, are you going to pay for a PPO? Are you going to pay for an HMO? Or are you going to pay for like Kaiser, for example? So you're really making choices about level of care, right? For example, a PPO, as we know here in the Valley, it's you go direct to specialists. You don't need referrals. You could go in network or out of network. You could go here in the Valley, San Diego, Radies or Scripps or, UCSD. In many other places, and in my previous 25 years of before coming to Calexico, I never had a PPO. I always had an HMO, had 2 children with an HMO. In my last district, I was paying about $895 for a family a month, close to about $9,000 a year for a family HMO. With an HMO, as you know, the level of care, I'm not talking about quality of care because our doctors were really good, but I was really restricted to the network. I couldn't get out of that network. If I needed, or one of my children or my wife, we needed to see a specialist, we had to ask our primary care doctor. They had to write a referral to the insurance had to approve it, and obviously, so the level of care is very, very different. Whereas here in the Valley, and specifically in Calexico, our employees don't have to make a choice between an HMO or a PPO or another level of care. All of our plans, with the exception of SIMSA, but everybody knows that, right? That's our south of the border plan. But all of our plans are PPO. So no matter whether you're in Plan 1 or you're in Plan 7, you could go to the same exact doctors, the same exact hospitals, the same exact emergency care, the same exact everything. You're not making the decision between what type of level of care you're making. So I think that is something pretty amazing. And having the experience of not having this, I appreciate it. I'm so grateful for that all of our plans are PPOs. And as a husband, as a dad, as I'm trying to make those decisions, I don't have to make the decision as to what type of level of care, because it's all the PPO quality level of care with all of our plans, with the exception of Simpson, like I said.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jimenez, for that information. And one more thing, these plans will also have, I'm assuming, from paying zero out of pocket to the higher, maybe, out of pocket?
Yes, President Avina. We're going to be offering plans that are zero payroll, monthly payroll deductions to plans that have a higher, high payroll deduction.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have,
Yes.
So if you go to the slide that explains the reasons for the increase, does CIST have anything in place that can help us inform our employees, where this almost 13% increase is coming from, what's causing that increase? I think it's very important for all of us to be informed and educated and have that in mind as we choose how to select the care that we're going to seek out for.
And the answer is yes. Trustee Calderon, the CIS does offer a tool and it's a one-pager that you can see the different plans and you can see the different levels of for each one of the plans that we are going to offer. In addition to that, through the insurance committee, CIS does provide additional information behind the increases, and that information is provided to the union representatives that are present at those meetings. And the expectation is that our bargaining units are also disseminating that information with their unit members, right? And that's one of the goals of the committee, is to inform and work with our union partners to help everybody understand the reason behind this. But yes, the answer is yes. We do have a tool, and it does have exactly what each plan entails.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? No? All right, thank you, Mr. Roman.
Thank you.
All right, number 3, board reports. Mr. Contreras?
I just wanted to congratulate the high school in receiving that award from FAFSA. I think it's something that's really, really important for us. And that's taking a look at the other courses that are being offered through IBC. I know as a parent, that's saved me some significant amount of money and a semester on each one of my kids, which is, again, savings, that we could count on in the future as they make their progression through universities. And I think it's just something that we see the contracts, or we see the items that come into the board, and we don't necessarily always see what the outcome was. And I'm very glad that they came in and did their presentation, because it tells us the amount of things that we're saving. And I did the math for the 3,000 kids that are taking the 12 units and stuff. So it's about $396,000 that we'll be saving. And if it's 700 of our kids going in there, we're looking at a substantial, probably about $132,000, that the parents will be saving in total, which, it's just kind of like anytime that we could save money as a parent, right? And for our students, I think it's something that is great. And I'm just glad that we continue to participate in these programs. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Arellano?
Thank you, Mr. Avina. Good evening. I want to start off by congratulating Mr. Moreno. Mr. Moreno, I know you're still here. I just want to congratulate you for the years of service. We are going to miss you. Hopefully, we can get you back somehow, at least for our basketball games, football games, or something like that. But again, I just want to congratulate you. I had the opportunity to attend Astronomy Night a couple weeks ago. Every time I've attended a few, but every time I attend, it's amazing the amount, the work that these kids are doing, and how motivated and how the teachers are with their students. I mean, it is amazing. I always try to talk to Mr. Magallanes because I'm not very tech savvy. Unfortunately, I grew up very old school. My parents raised us the old school way, and I just was never interested. But I like seeing the type of work that they do. Mr. Magallanes was showing us all the robots and the drones and everything that they're doing. And I was sharing with Mr. Magallanes that in law enforcement, we pay for training for people for drone training. And I was sharing with him, it's like, it's expensive, and some of these kids already know how to do it. He was explaining to me that they're able to code it, or hopefully he's not listening to this and telling me that I'm wrong, or programming, where they can program it to fly and to just surround a certain area without them maneuvering, which is amazing. So yeah, they were doing 3D printing, which is also something that is new to me. It's amazing the type of work. But anyways, I can keep going on the great work that these students are doing along with the teachers. I also had an opportunity to attend the Calexico Scholarship Foundation dinner last week. Great event. I know Mr. Castillo is always behind the scenes kind of person, but I just want to thank you, Mr. Castillo, for, I don't know how long you've been doing it, but it's a great opportunity for our students of Calexico. Mr. Moreno has been attending that event for a very long time as well. Since 94. There you go. He's been donating every year, so I don't think he's won. So thank you, Mr. Moreno, for your donations. But yeah, I want to take this opportunity to thank Mr. Castillo for your hard work and dedication over the years. And lastly, I'm looking forward for all the graduations next month. I know we're going to have to try to figure out our schedules and make it work so we can at least one of us or two of us attend every single graduation. That's the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arellano. Mr. Castillo.
Thank you. And again, I just want to start off as we are kind of nearing the end of the school year now. It feels like, we're in the home stretch, testing and getting ready for end of year activities. But again, May is also a time for us to recognize and thank all the hard work and efforts that our staff do. I know we have teacher recognition and California Day of the Teacher recently, so we want to thank our staff across the district for all their work and continuous efforts there. As well as next week is classified CSEA week, right? Cannot forget them as well. Our individuals, hardworking employees that work, to support our classrooms, our students, and all of us here. We know it takes a team, and Calexico has an amazing team. We want to recognize them all for that. So we thank you for that. In addition as well, I think with the strong staff we have here in Calexico, can't go without mentioning, I think we know recently some of them are being recognized for their biliteracy excellence recognitions. Daniela Castro, as well as Mr. Stone, who I think stepped out. So it's too bad we can let him know. But again, good work happening across the district there and employees there.
Mr. David Gastelum as Teacher of the Year, AXA Teacher of the Year.
You're stealing my script now.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought you were looking at me for the name. I'm sorry. It's all yours, Mr. Castillo.
But anyway, so yes, excellent teachers happening here, or working happening in Calexico. And again, tomorrow night, we do recognize David Gastelum being recognized as AXA Teacher of the Year. And again, our teachers, classified administrators as well, we want to recognize. We know Karina Montaño for her work and efforts as the Administrator of the Year. We'll also see tomorrow. So we thank the whole team for everyone's efforts and that. And many unsung heroes that we know work day after day in our classrooms and school sites. I think a lot of things happening in the district. Mr. Arellano mentioned the STEM activities both at 9th grade campus recently as well as Maine's. Many of us had the chance to visit those activities. I just want to share as well, piggyback on your comments. a lot of effort going into putting on those events, but I think I was incredibly in awe of what I saw. And we go to many events, but just not what I saw, but what I heard. Because at those events, we had teachers there, manning different areas, drones, craters, rockets, the telescopes and all. But we saw teachers manning these booths, working with students, in addition to parents. That was one thing I was impressed with. Parents were sitting there, and they were telling me what their kids are learning, what the school's doing, what the teachers are showing, and the hands-on activities. That was impressive to me, as well as hearing from the students themselves. We go to these events, we expect kind of the usual presentations, but here I was impressed because the kids were telling us. One child at a telescope talking about the stars and galaxies and more than we ever know. And he was about a fourth grader. I think kind of even impressing some of the experts from Blue Dot, right, with his knowledge. And I'll also share that these STEM nights it's not just about the technology that we see there. Our district is investing a lot in these tools and curriculum and enrichment, but it's what was being shared with me by the teachers and the parents was how the kids were using that to learn. Mr. Stone was talking about programming and storyboards and all that was helping students learn, EL students learn and apply, what the standards and what they're learning in class through technology. Other parents were talking about the field trips, right? Ladybugs, the bees that they're going on. But they're talking about how their students and their children are learning about, the insects and life cycles, but through writing and presenting, through the drone show, I think at Maine's we saw, you walk into the classroom, there's drones flying around, impressive alone. But as soon as you walk in, a student approaches you. And he's telling me, can I show you what I'm learning? And not about the drone first, but he took me over to his iPad and made me watch a presentation that he created that explained the drones, the technology, but also the careers and his interest in being an electrical engineer or something. And then I got to look at the drones. So I just want to come in and taking a bit more time on that, but it's not the technology that I think we're highlighting, but what the kids are learning and applying, but also the careers that they're being exposed to and the support from all the staff, because again, there were teachers there, classified, and district technology staff. But again, as Mr. Arellano mentioned, incredible events at the 9th grade campus and at Maine's that first night. And again, I walked away impressed. And we go to a lot of events, but from what I heard from kids and parents was valuable. So thank you for everyone for making those happen. I think we work and are dedicated to keeping our students first and the work we do. I've heard some comments and mentioning now, interest in supporting, and Mr. Jimenez, you've shared, and staff, interest about supporting our students with special needs, our SPED department and parents. And that's critical. Through the district, we've done unified PE, Circle of Friends. I know there's been friendship benches. I think a parent shared with me as well a video today about, at the high school, I think it was, students doing a promposal, I think it was, in a classroom, demonstrating inclusion and acceptance. And that's exactly what we want. And, I get chills thinking about it because, we went through the transition a couple years ago, and that was hard lift and shift for the district and many other districts. But that is the reason why we do this, because they're not separate, they're not in the back of the campus, they're part of the school. So these activities, the inclusion are important. So I know there's discussion about maybe committees or some training and support in the future, so totally support that and look forward to that. And a lot of other good things and good work happening, but I'll let my colleagues share as well. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Castillo. Ms. Calderon.
Thank you, Mike. Good evening, everyone. So I attended for the first time, but this has been happening for many, many years, Dancing with the Stars put together by IVROP. What an impressive event. It's like it was put together by event professionals. Everything was perfect. The venue, it was so well attended. I have no idea how many people attended. I'll find out when I go to the IVROP board meeting next week, but I could say easily 1,000 people were there. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was 8 or 9 performers that participated in the competition. ICOE Representative Antonio Romayor Jr. won the competition. They all did an excellent job. They were all there participating with one end in mind, and it was our students across the county to help them with scholarships for higher education. I'll find out next week as well how much was raised, how much is going to be distributed out to our high school graduates. And it was just a really, really beautiful event, something I look forward to in the next years to come. I also attended at Calexico High School an event that was brought to us by Sun Community Federal Credit Union. It was the Bite of Reality. I not only showed up or attended, I volunteered. So it's a setup of different tables where the high school students, and I believe it's just seniors, right, John? Yeah, it's just seniors who, and it's, again, so well prepared and organized. The students had to sign up if they wanted to participate in that event days in advance. They had to download an app on their phone, so that when they showed up to the event, about 2 hours is how long the event each session would last. So they would get there, and their app was ready to go. They were assigned a profession with a salary. They were all married. They all had a spouse who also had an income, and they all had one child. And at random, they were assigned what age that child had. And they had to go to each table. It wasn't optional, and they had to make a purchase. So there was a table for household where they had to buy a house, and there were different options. And you can imagine where this is going, right? Because they don't understand how far or how not far a dollar can go. And so they have their jobs, they have their income, so they start purchasing away. I was volunteering in the child care table. And the options that I had to offer was a licensed child care facility that cost about $1,080 a month. And then there was the option for a relative to take care of the child for a fraction of that cost. And you can imagine how probably 90% of the students that came to my table, my mom's watching them. I am paying $1,000 a month for a licensed child care facility. My grandma raised me, and I turned out fine. So now it's my mom's turn. And it was great to see how a lot of them ran out of money. And what they had to do was go back and change that big 2-story house for a little bit something more modest, because they couldn't end up in the negative, right? So Bite of Reality, and indeed it was an eye-opener for them, and they said, yeah, adulting is hard. Yeah. Adulting is going to be hard. And I said, yes, it is. It's very hard. But thank you to Sun Community. Thank you for the high school staff for collaborating together, for putting this together, because I remember when I was in high school, none of that. We were not exposed to none of that. And I think our parents, with no bad intentions, they just didn't think to teach me, home economics and what it was going to be out there in the real world. So thank you for bringing those resources to our seniors. I believe it was our first year. I hope it's not our last. And if it's not, I will continue to volunteer, because it was a lot of fun to see them suffer. Yeah. And so next week is CSCA week, all week long. And I'm a proud former CSCA member. And I hope that at every school site, here in the district office, at all of our sites, they are celebrated, they are appreciated. They really are. They play a key role in the school districts. There are food service employees, our custodians, our proctors, our instructional aides, health technicians, you name it, our secretaries. So I hope that they have a lot of fun next week being celebrated for everything that they do. And speaking of CSCA, maybe about 3 or 4 years ago, there was a settlement contract between CSEA and Calexico Unified School District that included a classification study. It was agreed upon to hire a consultant to come and do a classification study, and I believe it was done. It was completed, and the results are there. And if I'm not mistaken, there was the results included 5 classifications that came back as being undercompensated based on the market value. And I don't believe it has been addressed, and I would like to request Board President and Superintendent Jimenez, if maybe at the next couple of board meetings, next meeting or the following, if you can provide an update to the board to see where that ended and see if we can bring it back to life and start having those discussions. There's 5 classifications that were undercompensated. Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely.
And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you,
Just
Ms.
one
Calderon.
quick comment for a second. I thought you were going to volunteer for next year's Dancing with the Stars.
No, you don't want me to.
Maybe we can volunteer her.
Or Mr.
Voluntold.
Jimenez.
Mr. Jimenez, yes.
If you dance, I'll dance. No.
Yeah, say yes, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so all the great stories were shared already. What am I going to share? You know, as I'm listening to my fellow board members here share the stories of all the great things happening in Calexico, not just tonight, but every time we have a board meeting and the presentations that we had, like today's high school video and everything, the Mr. Torres, Ms. Cabanilla, great stories, a lot of things, great things happening. And I was just thinking, you know, we have a great opportunity to maybe do a better job in telling our stories to the entire community of Calexico. Because sometimes I think that not everybody knows what happens in Calexico. No, we hear right here, people listening at home and live or later visiting the board meetings, they hear about it. Individual schools hear about it. But I don't know if the entire Calexico community knows about all the great things happening in Calexico. Not only here in Calexico, but across the valley. Do people in Brawley and other cities, do they hear the great stories in Calexico? And I think we can do a better job there. I know we have our website. I know the school sites have their own, you know, Facebook and so forth, that they post things. But I think there's some room for growth there. There's a lot of great things happening that the whole world should know about it, right? Because like kind of what you mentioned, Mr. Jimenez, earlier, sometimes that one incident, that one thing that, you know, that a few people might, you know, focus on the negative, that gets all the attention. But all these amazing things happening all the time sometimes doesn't gets the full recognition. So I don't know, some thoughts for something for future conversation. Okay. And yes, last week we had a certificate Teachers Week. I hope teachers, you got treated nicely by your staff at your school site. You know, sometimes they have breakfast or a luncheon or things like that. So I hope it went nice for all of you, and next week for our classified staff. So thank you for everything that you do. Ms. Calderon, you mentioned that study. I'm so glad that you brought it, because one thing that this board has done and spoken about is having competitive wages for all of our employees, right? All the groups, you know, certificate management, classified management, classified confidential. That's what we want for all our employees. And us looking at other district salaries, we're up there. We're up there for salaries for I want to say the vast majority. But like you said, no, there's some classifications that, you know, are undercompensated. So good thing, something for us to look at, definitely. And again, thanks to everybody. Mr. Moreno, congratulations on your retirement. I'm not sure we have another board meeting before he retires. I think we do, right?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so
Yes, we do.
we'll congratulate you again later. And again, congratulations to those being recognized tomorrow at AXA, Ms. Montaño and Mr. Castella. And that's the right, two
David
teachers?
Castella.
Yeah. So congratulations, and we're almost there. So a couple more days, what, 14, 15 days? Teachers, 15?
Who's
14?
counting? Who's counting?
Okay, who's counting? Nobody. All right, so that's what I have. And oh yeah, one more thing. I just want to thank my fellow board members for the way we work together. We all bring our own questions, thoughts, experiences to the table, but we always remain focused on what matters most, and that's the success of our students. The success of our students, the success of our district. So thank you, because I think we work well together. Sometimes we don't agree 100% on everything, but for the most part we do, because we have the same purpose, the same mission, and that's the success of our students. So thank you. All right, that's all.
Mr. Avina, can I just share one more thing real quick?
Yes.
Again, just in closing our comments here, I just want to mention the Calexico Educational Foundation that Mr. Ariano brought up earlier. And this is a Calexico Educational Foundation was initiated back in 1989. If you haven't known that, here in Calexico, back then, I think individuals here at the district office and the community, Mr. Moreno, Ms. Palacio, were instrumental, along with some community folks, probably to get that going. And that was, the purpose was to support our local students with scholarships and opportunities as a community, because we know we want our students to succeed and beyond, our K-12 program, or TK program now, here in Calexico. So we've got educators and business folks now continuing to pursue and sustain and advocate for our scholarships for students. So I want to just thank everyone who's participated. This entire board, everyone up here has been supportive. Many folks here in the audience, our administrators, our teachers, our school sites, they all get involved one way or another, have heard about it. But again, it's done with a purpose, and that's just for our students here. Just want to mention that, and there may be a request for a presentation by that board later. We'll hear from them. But as well, I just want to mention, there's always opportunities to get involved. We've had a teacher on the board in the past. We've had classified on the past, management and community and business. So there's opportunities if you're interested to get involved. I do want to mention as well, the event was last Friday, very successful. I want to thank Mr. Dennis Price, who volunteered to provide the music. So I know he's probably stepped out or maybe not here. John Moreno's always been very supportive with his, I won't say comedy, but presentation skills.
It was comedy, yeah, it was.
And he's always been
Master of ceremonies.
It's been a community that's put this together and sustained it. So I just want to thank everybody for that.
Thank you, Mr. Castillo. And I didn't thank you, but thank you for your work there. I attended my first event that Friday. I've always helped out, always bought tickets for years, never won. Almost won this time, but I attended my first event, so it was nice. It was very pleasant. Food was excellent. I didn't know that Calexico Unified provided.
Yes, we catered.
Catered. So that was good. And yeah, Mr. Moreno, you're very entertaining. I had a great time. So thank you for that. You did? Okay.
You can retire from that one.
All right, thank you. Okay, it's me. Okay, item F.
Thank you, President Avina. So for item F, numbers 1 through 19, these are the first readings, which we'll be bringing back for the second readings and approval at our following meeting. But for tonight, President Avina, I'd like to recommend that we chunk together items number 1 through 19, and our Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, Ms. Elisa Ramirez, will, for the record, read the board policy number, the AR, and its respected title, and then we'll be bringing it back to the next board meeting for the second reading and approval.
Okay. So will Ms. Ramirez present first,
Yes.
and then we take action?
Yes.
Okay.
So good evening, Superintendent Jimenez, President Avina, trustees, members of the public. My name is Elisa Ramirez. I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, and today I'm going to share with you our routine updates to board policies that are for our most recent legislation, and we retrieve this information from our Gamut online platform, which is compiled by CSBA, which is the California School Boards Association. We are presenting first readings of board policy, administrative regulations, and/or exhibits. So the first one is 0450, Comprehensive Safety Plan. 1340, access to district records. 1445, response to immigration enforcement. 4319.24, maintaining appropriate adult-student interactions. 5000, concepts and roles. 5020, parent rights and responsibilities. 5117, inter-district attendance. 5125, student records. 5125.1, release of directory information. 5138, conflict resolution, peer mediation. 5144.1, suspension and expulsion / due process. 5145.2, freedom of speech expression. 6020, parent involvement. 6142.7, physical education and activity. 6143, course of study. 6146.1, high school graduation requirements. 6146.3, reciprocity of academic credit. 6173.4, education of American Indian students. And 6175, migrant education program. We recommend that the board approve actions 1 through 19 as the first reading of these revised board policies, administrative regulations, and/or exhibits.
All right, board, do we have a motion to approve items 1 through 19?
Make a motion.
I'll second.
Okay,
Motion.
there's a motion on the floor. Any questions or comments? No? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you, Ms. Ramirez. I'm glad I didn't have to read all those 19 items. Okay, item 20, delete board policy and administrative regulation 5145.13, response to immigration enforcement. A motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Item 21, delete board policy and first reading of administrative regulations and new exhibit 6146.2, certificate of proficiency, high school equivalency. Is there a motion?
So move.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, questions, comments?
If I could just make a
Yes.
really quick clarification, because I know this is saying we're deleting this language, but we're only deleting it because we're adding a brand new, the latest update on these two items. So
Correct.
we still have board policies on these two items. It's just a brand new board policy that came out of a gamut.
Yes,
Thank you.
I think we knew that. Yes. Thank you for the clarification, Mr. Jimenez. Okay. Did I finish?
Yes.
Well, no, but
There's a motion and
there's
a second. We just need to take a vote.
On 21, right?
Yep.
Okay, so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Okay, we're good, all right. Moving on to item 22, approval of salary schedule adjustments for classified management employees for fiscal year 2025, 2026, and 2026, 2027.
I'd like to make a motion to approve, but I'd like to ask a question for clarification and then followed by a comment, please.
Second that motion so that we could go with the clarification.
So my question, just to clarify, is on this salary schedule, we are increasing it by the same percentage amount as all the other groups at the previous board meeting, with an addition that we're eliminating the first step and then moving everything up?
That's exactly correct. Yes.
Okay, thank you. And then just my comment before we all vote, but this item is meaningful to me. As some of you know, I was employed by CUSD, and I started off the CSCA classified salary schedule, and then I moved on up to the classified confidential salary schedule, where I held 2 different positions there. And then eventually the district gave me the opportunity to move on up to the management salary schedule, which is this one here. And I know that throughout the district there are employees who have potential, who have dedication, and I think I can safely speak for the board that we want to make sure that those employees across the district see leadership opportunities as attainable and worthwhile, and straightening our management salary schedules will achieve exactly that, where we can attract our very own, that are already serving our community. We want them to grow. We want them to promote within. So not only are we encouraging our current leaders that have those positions now, but we're also thinking of those that are one day going to step on up into those positions. I think we're going to be facing a lot of retirements in the near future that are currently holding the management positions, and I personally want to see our very own take on those positions in the future. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Calderon. Couldn't agree more with what you said. So there's a motion on the floor. Any other questions, comments? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, motion passes 5-0. Item 23, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Positive Adventures to provide team building activities inside and outside the classroom during Sparks Summer Camp. A motion to approve.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 5-0. Item 24, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Unwind and Design Creative Studio to offer painting lessons during Sparks Summer Camp 2026.
Move for approval.
I'll second.
Second, okay. Any questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0. Item 25, agreement between Calexico Unified School District and the Imperial Irrigation District to receive a grant for energy modernization in the total amount of $314,952 for various school sites.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, the motion on the floor. Any comments, questions?
Maybe just in a few seconds, Mr. Jimenez, can you share what this does for the district?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Trustee Castillo, President Viña, board members. So we're very, very excited with the partnership and the continuous support that we receive from the Imperial Irrigation District. They have been absolute amazing partners for us in the work that we're doing in different ways. This one right here specifically, the IID had a grant that we applied. We were awarded the grant, and it is for the replacement of older AC units with new, more energy efficient, more cost efficient units. As we know, out here in the valley, our air conditioners are blowing cold air as fast and as much as they could get it, and after 10, 12, 15 years they start breaking down. We have to start investing in parts and repairs, service costs, and being able to keep our or replace older units with newer units is a very big cost savings for us. So we just recently went through our energy modernization project where we replaced over 200 AC units throughout the district. So this is going to allow us to continue that work of replacing the older AC units with newer units.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. I think that was about 60 seconds. I lost track, but
Yes, that was about 60 seconds.
Thank you. So we have a motion?
And a
Yes,
second.
okay. Any other questions, comments? Okay. All those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes 5-0. 26, approval of award from Imperial Irrigation District for a total grant amount of $28,525 for public green space trees at the Calexico High School.
Move for approval.
I'll second.
Okay, any questions, comments? Can you tell us a little bit about this one in a few seconds too?
A few seconds. Last year we received over $100,000 or so, and for planting trees and valves and irrigation systems to water the trees from the Imperial Irrigation District. We didn't get the grant for Calexico High School. This year we reapplied and we got the grant for Calexico High School. So this is to put some green and trees and vegetation at Calexico High School. And thanks again to the Imperial Irrigation
They're
District.
going to look beautiful next to our brand new buildings.
They are absolutely beautiful.
Thank you, Mr. Jimenez, for you and your team going after these grants. You know, we didn't get it last time, but you didn't give up. You went again. Thanks. Okay, so is there a motion? Okay, we have a motion, right? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. 27, amended agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Keenan and Associates to renew property and casualty claims administrative services.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second that motion.
Okay, any comments or questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Aye. Motion passes 5-0. Amended agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Blue Dot Education to include the cost of materials and supplies for professional development for teachers at Mains Elementary School.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Okay, any questions or comments?
Nope.
No? Mr. Jimenez, can you give us a little bit more information about this?
Sure.
Just
So
short.
yes, absolutely, President Avina. So the board had already approved the total not to exceed of $25,000 for this partnership with Blue Dot and doing a lot of these STEM activities, astronomy activities that we're doing throughout our school sites. So Mains Elementary School with our leader there, Mr. Lucio Padilla, who's attending our board meeting tonight. is contracting with Blue Dot to continue this great work and with this great partnership. What our last board approval item didn't include instructional supplies and materials. So there was an additional about $2,300, about $4,000 to be able to buy, the student supplies, the student materials for the activities that go along with this type of a work. So this still keeps the same contract. We just brought it back to add those approximately $4,000 to be able to purchase the supplies and materials that we're going to need to do these activities.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Jimenez. Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. 29, bid award and approval of agreement between Calexico Unified School District and R&K Air Conditioning for the Calexico High School Welding Shop Modernization Project.
Make a motion to approve.
Is there a
I'll
second? Okay, any questions or comments?
Mr. Jimenez, also 60 seconds or less. Talk about this and what it might mean for us in the welding in the future.
Well, we're trying to modernize our welding shop. It's been we need attention to it, give us some tender loving care, some TLC. So this will start modernizing some of our electrical work. We also applied with the Golden State Pathways grant for approximately $750,000. We will know in June if we are awarded that money. We're keeping our fingers crossed. Thank you to Ms. Gabby Williams who submitted that grant on our behalf. If we do get that grant, we will be able to utilize that money to tap directly into this work right here to do some further enhancements in our, and that's air circulation, air conditioning. We have the fume dogs, which are these extractors that extract fumes out of the building. And so this is all part of that project that we're trying to do to enhance our welding shop.
Thank you, thank you, Mr. Jimenez. So there's a motion. Any other questions, comments? No? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes 5-0. Number 30, right? Yes, 30. Bid award and approval of agreement between Calexico Unified School District and Sylvester Roofing Corporation for roofing replacement at Calexico High School.
A motion to approve?
I'll second.
Second, okay. Any comments or questions? No? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
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 Motion passes 5-0. 31, declaration of need for fully qualified educators for the 2026-2027 school year. A motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, questions, comments? No? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. 32, acceptance of claim Alvaro Tapia versus Calexico Unified School District.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Any questions or comments? No? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. 33, memorandum of understanding between Calexico Unified School District and IVRP, Ready for Life program for students at Calexico High School.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, any questions or comments? No? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 5-0. 34, resolution ordering an election, requesting county elections to conduct the election, and requesting consolidation of the election and specifications of the election order.
Motion to approve?
Second the resolution.
Okay.
Motion.
So, Mr. Contreras?
Yes.
Mr. Arellano?
Yes.
Mr. Castillo?
Yes.
Ms. Calderon?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Motion passes 5-0. 35, resolution regarding disposition of surplus asset, non-asset grounds equipment at the Maintenance and Operations Department.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Second, Mr. Contreras?
Yes.
Mr. Arellano?
Yes.
Mr. Castillo?
Yes.
Mrs. Calderon?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Motion passes 5-0. 36, resolution regarding disposition of surplus asset, non-asset grounds equipment at Duke Elementary.
Motion for approval.
I'll second.
Okay. Mr. Contreras?
Yes.
Mr. Arellano?
Yes.
Mr. Castillo?
Yes.
Ms. Calderon?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Motion passes 5-0. 37, resolution regarding disposition of surplus asset, non-asset technology equipment at the Special Education Department.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Okay. Mr. Contreras?
Yes.
Mr. Arellano?
Yes.
Mr. Castillo?
Yes.
Ms. Calderon?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Motion passes 5-0. Resolution regarding disposition of surplus asset, non-asset technology, oh, same one?
The new one.
Okay,
Different
no,
school.
yeah, it's
High school.
different. Got confused.
At the high school.
So resolution regarding disposition of surplus asset, non-asset technology equipment at Calexico High School.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, Mr. Contreras?
Yes.
Mr. Arellano?
Yes.
Mr. Castillo?
Yes.
Ms. Calderon?
Yes.
Myself, yes, 5-0. 39. Resolution regarding disposition of surplus asset, non-asset technology equipment from room 8 at the Family Resource Center. Motion,
Motion to approve?
I second that. Mr. Contreras?
Yes.
Mr. Arellano?
Yes.
Mr. Castillo?
Yes.
Ms. Calderon?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Motion passes 5-0. Okay, that's it. All right, so public comments, no. Announcement of convening into closed session.